China didn't release an update. They released a verdict. No dramatic press conference, no warning, no staged moment of excitement. Just a quiet upload, a series of FITS files, photometric readings, astrometric positions, timestamped data streams slipping into their national archives like routine paperwork. But the scientists who opened those files didn't see routine. They saw confirmation. Confirmation of the one scenario astronomers across the West hoped they'd never have to face. Because China's new observations of 3I Atlas, recorded during the most suspicious 36-hour blackout in Western astronomy, don't just fill a gap, they rewrite the entire timeline. They show an interstellar object brightening when it shouldn't, expanding its coma in ways that break our models, developing a tail structure that contradicts earlier readings, and behaving with a precision no natural comet should display. And the strangest part, nothing about the object changed, and yet everything did. As if 3I Atlas wasn't waiting for solar heat, it was waiting for us. Waiting for that gap, waiting for the moment only one nation would be watching. China's discovery doesn't reveal a new mystery. It confirms the one we've been denying. The one we feared from the start. Blackout, the timeline is everything. And the timeline is wrong. On July 1st, 2025, Chile's Atlas survey spotted the object that would be named 3I Atlas, only the third confirmed interstellar visitor in human history. But from the moment astronomers ran its orbit, something felt off. It wasn't just fast, it was too fast. Clocking heliocentric speeds near 209, 0 km/h. Sliding across the solar system on a trajectory that never belonged to our sun. Western observatories poured resources into tracking it. Hubble, JWST, VLT, Gemini, all aligned to build a continuous observational arc. And then, precisely when the comet reached the most sensitive phase of its evolution, everything went dark. Not by accident but by scheduling, 36 hours. 5 major Western observatories, all offline. Gyroscope realignment, mirror cleaning, instrument swaps, mission reprioritization. Maintenance cycles aligned with uncanny precision. And in that one tiny window, a slit in the fabric of global astronomy, 3I Atlas slipped dangerously close to the sun's glare. The exact moment when a comet reveals its true structure through peak-out gassing. Jet activation, dust-to-gas ratios, coma expansion. Nucleus stress fractures, everything we rely on to understand what it is. A natural comet would have nothing to hide. An unnatural one would have everything to reveal. The West closed its eyes, China didn't. High-altitude stations in Tibet, Qinghai, and Yunnan remained wide awake during the blackout. No maintenance cycles, no scheduling conflicts, no instrument switches. The skies in that hemisphere were dark, stable, and perfectly aligned for continuous tracking. While the most advanced observatories on Earth slept, China captured uninterrupted astrometric positions, coma expansion rates, tail morphology, multi-filter photometry, dust grain size distributions, brightness evolution curves, every frame timestamped with millisecond precision. Every exposure fed into cooling systems, running under sub-zero night air. Every FITS file pushed through redundant fiber optic links into Beijing and Nanjing servers. And what they recorded was not what Western scientists expected to see when the blackout ended. The coma didn't just grow, it expanded sunward. The tail didn't just appear, it elongated at an unnatural rate. The brightness didn't just fluctuate, it increased by 0.3 magnitudes in just hours. The dust profile didn't just change, it shifted toward large carbon-rich grains. Unheard of for a comet with this chemical history. China didn't fill the gap, China exposed it. To understand what China found, We need to understand what the coma is: a halo of dust and gas released when a comet wakes up near the sun. But 3I Atlas didn't wake up. It reacted. It responded. It spoke in particles. From mid-July onward, JWST and SPHEREX had already detected something strange. A coma dominated by carbon dioxide. Not water, a signature that implies a thermal history totally different from any comet native to our system. But during the blackout, when solar radiation peaked, China observed the comet's own echo signal. A brightness surge, an expansion wave, a structural rearrangement of the dust cloud. It wasn't random sublimation. It was a pattern, and to catch that pattern, you needed eyes on the object every minute. China had them. The West didn't. When JWST and VLT came back online, the time series was broken. The comet had moved 1.2 million km, enough to blur the reconstruction of any high-resolution model. But China's data stitched it together like nothing had been missed. And when scientists aligned the coma readings, the conclusion was simple. The interstellar visitor wasn't behaving like a comet trying to survive the sun. It was behaving like an object responding to it. This part of the story doesn't sound dramatic, but it is. Every photon China captured passed through nitrogen-cooled CCD detectors, atmospheric correction pipelines, redundancy servers in high-altitude vacuum, checksum verification, metadata alignment using Gaia Doctor 3 light curve cross-calibration using Landolt sequences. All while Western observatories with mirrors 4 times larger recorded nothing. And the result? China created the first continuous photometric sequence of an interstellar comet during its peak solar activation. The data showed coma elongation toward the sun, photometric brightening consistent with jet activation, dust ratios incompatible with water-driven sublimation, a nucleus brightness profile inconsistent with size estimates as low as 300 meters, astrometric precision that reduced orbital error by a factor of 5. This wasn't just good astronomy, this was strategic astronomy. And in that strategy, China recorded the moment Western science missed, the moment 3I Atlas revealed its true nature. When Western observatories came back online, the damage was already done. Not to the comet, to our understanding of it. A full 36 hours without data during a fast-moving interstellar object's perihelion progression is not a gap. It is a wound. Without China's logs, the West would have woken up blind to the coma's sudden asymmetry. The sunward jet structure, the brightness surge, the dust-to-gas shift, the subtle changes in trajectory. But the most damning part, the Western models, when updated, did not fully align with natural comet behavior. The missing section of the light curve left uncertainties too large to ignore. And every recalculation pointed toward the same conclusion. Whatever 3I Atlas is, it is not acting like a comet ejected randomly from another star. And the silence from Western agencies, NASA, ESA, NOIR Lab, became deafening. Because the one thing they could not deny, China could prove. When China pushed the blackout period files into the ChinaVO Sky survey portal, astronomers around the world saw them before any official commentary. No press release, no interpretation, just raw data, the most honest form of truth in science. Within 12 hours, the Minor Planets Center recalculated the orbit. American institutions downloaded the FITS datasets. European analysts ran their own photometry. The orbital uncertainty collapsed from 25 arcseconds to 5. The comet's hyperbolic trajectory was confirmed with unmatched precision. But the strangest twist is this: the coma's elongation wasn't random noise. It was directional, purposeful, almost signal-like, a response pattern activated by solar radiation.